Johnson County, Kansas sits just across the state line from Kansas City, Missouri, and it is about as far from the streets as it gets. Johnson is the kind of area where men wear khaki cargo shorts to a cookout, or people's largest problem is their local HOA. Johnson County has consistently ranked among the safest suburban counties in the entire United States. Carmel and Noblesville in Indiana usually get all the headlines for safety rankings, but Johnson County, with its cities of Olathe, Shawnee, Lenexa, Gardner, and Overland Park, is right there with them. In 2020 and 2021, the city of Shawnee had 0 homicides, which is pretty crazy for an American city, but then something changed. Between 2021 and 2023, a wave of teenagers with clips started tearing through one of the most comfortable suburban counties in America, robbing people, shooting each other, bringing guns to school, and leaving a trail of dead bodies and prison sentences behind them. By 2022, the sheriff said his deputies were watching normal suburban teenagers killing each other, not over hard shit like fentanyl or heroin or anything you'd expect, but over dime bags of weed. This is what happens when suburban kids try to play gangsta. It started in the most public and jarring way possible on the morning of Friday, March 4th, 2022, inside the main office of Olathe East High School. Olathe East is a large public high school on West 127th Street, the kind of school with a football team and a booster club and school pride competitions. Jaylon Deason Elmore was 18 years old and a senior there. He was also a convicted felon who, back in 2020 when he was 16, had been convicted of robbery in juvenile court in Wyandotte County for forcibly stealing a man's wallet and had completed 6 months of probation. That prior conviction meant he was legally prohibited from owning or possessing a firearm, which didn't stop him from getting his hands on a ghost gun, a kind of homemade, untraceable pistol assembled from a 3D printed kit you can buy without a background check. A fellow student on the bus noticed Elmore's ghost gun and tipped off school administrators. On the morning of March 4th, Assistant Principal Caleb Stoppel pulled Elmore out of shop class under the pretense of discussing his academic standing and asked him to bring his backpack. Once Elmore was in the office, Stoppel switched the subject and told him the school was searching everyone involved in the bus incident. Elmore immediately got defensive, moved his backpack around to his front, and refused to let anyone near it. Stoppel texted school resource officer Eric Clark to come to the office right away. When Clark walked in, Elmore reached into his backpack and pulled out the green camo-patterned ghost gun, with 13 rounds loaded and 1 spent shell already blocking the slide. He fired 5 times directly at Clark. Clark was hit 4 times, with 1 bullet striking his body camera and destroying it, and the other 3 causing gunshot wounds. Clark returned fire, shooting Elmore and accidentally hitting Stoppel, who had jumped on top of Elmore to try to wrestle the gun away. Elmore, Clark, and Stoppel were all rushed to Overland Park Regional Medical Center. Clark and Stoppel were treated and released the same day. Elmore was critically injured and spent roughly 2 months in the hospital, undergoing multiple surgeries before he was stable enough to be transferred to jail. While he was still recovering, someone sent a text to his phone that said,